There are a series of date functions that you can use in Access to provide the user with information regarding dates. And a listing of them are here on your screen. So we have the date function that is just going to retrieve the current date. You have date part, which is going to take a part of your date based on a certain interval. You can have date serial. It's going to convert values into a date value. We can do date add, which is going to add to a date. We can do date differential, diff, which is going to determine the difference between two dates. We can retrieve the month number by using month name. And we could do the weekday name. Now, please realize that M stands for month, Q stands for quarter, Y, 4 Y's stand for the four digits of a year, D stands for day, W stands for week, and if you do a WW, that's going to stand for weeks 1 to 52. If you just use W, it's just going to do weekday 1 through 7 is a week. Now, let's just show you how this works. So I'll switch over here to Access, and what I've done is I've created a query, and I'm in Query Design. I've brought down some fields from my listing table. What I want to do is be able to enter the day, do a parameter query. I want to put in 1 and get the listings for the month of January. I want to put in 2 to get the listings for February. I tried this. I tried a parameter down here. I typed enter the month. And remember, when you're doing a parameter, it has to be in brackets. When I click run and I put 01 or 1 for January, I'm getting, the expression isn't typed correctly. Okay? So what I want to do is modify that. What I'm going to do is first click in and open up my Zoom window. So it opens up in Zoom. Now, I'll go ahead and get rid of this for now. I'm going to start with the function date part. And what you do then is open up your parentheses. I want to, in quotes, find the month. And that M means the digit of the month. So if I have April, I want to put 4. If I have January, I want to put 1. That's what the M stands for. I then have my next argument in my date part is I'm going to take the field date listed, and I'm going to have it finish. That's my date part. So I'm going to take in my date listed, I just want to find the digit that I'm going to put in there. And I want that to equal enter the number of the month. For example, January equals 1. To see the properties listed in that month. That's my parameter that I'm having. Okay, and I close my parentheses. All right, I'm going to click OK. And now let's see if it works. I'll click Run. I'm just going to type number 1 and hit Enter. And now notice my date listed lists all the January properties. If I go back to Design View and I run again, I'm going to put 9. And notice it gives me the months of September. Okay, so that's how you use date part. Now, let's switch back here, and now let's show you how you can also use these functions to create a brand new calculated field. So I want to determine how many days these properties are on the market. So once again, I'm going to create a new calculated field. I'm just going to open up my Zoom window to type it in. The new field name is called Days on Market. And remember from a previous before, you have to use a colon to separate the new field name from the calculations. Now we're going to use the function date diff and open your parentheses. The first argument we want to put in is make sure you have quotes, is the D for the day, comma, and the next argument is our date listed in brackets, comma, date, open paren, close paren. And then you need one more close parentheses. So what this is going to do is it's going to take the day from the date listed and subtract it from the current date. Date, open paren, close paren, picks up today's actual date. So it's, for me, I'm on July 13th, 2018. It's going to calculate how long it's been on the market from that day. If I go ahead and click OK, and I run this, enter the number of, let's say for January, so I still have to put the month in. Let's go 1. Okay. So now it's telling you that these have been listed. Here's the date for January, and you can see they've been listed on the market more than 500 from today's date, over 500 and so many days on the market. And that is using date functions in parameters or in a parameter query, and also date functions using a calculated field.